Hi. Okay, let's start out with cross legs. We're going to do just some nice big shoulder rolls back. So big circles back and then down. Keep breathing. Let's do one more. And then start coming back and down with the shoulders, and we're going to just keep them in place. Abs are pulled in. We're going to go side to side with the head, so you're just looking from one side to the next. Nice easy stretch for the neck. Let's do a couple more. Go at your own pace, and we'll take it back to center. We're going to take one arm and reach down to the floor, and the other, and the ear goes to the other shoulder. So now you should feel the stretch all through the shoulder and the neck. Good. Keep breathing. All right, so now we're going to take as if we're taking our nose to our knee. So we're just stretching down, and this just kind of hits the neck a little bit differently. And then while we're here, let's take that arm that we're reaching down, and we're going to cross it behind the back. So now you really feel this in a different spot through the shoulders and through the neck. Okay, let's inhale, come up, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So reaching down first and then take it over to the side. If you want to, you can even help your stretch along the way with the hand. And then let's take nose towards the knee. And again, if you want to help the stretch along, you can. And let's go ahead and put our arm behind the back. Okay, deep breath in. Exhale. And then as you inhale, release everything and come on up. Okay, so we're going to stretch the upper back now. So clasp hands together, reaching forward and rounding the back. And you can drop your head if you want to. Keep your shoulders down, but we're rounding the back. As if you're trying to pull your shoulder blades apart. Okay, good. Now we're going to do the same thing, but this time we're going to point up as if you're going up towards where the ceiling and the wall meet. Hold it here and keep breathing. Keep pulling the shoulder blades apart and feel that nice stretch through the back. Okay, very good. All right, so we are going to get into butterfly position. So feet are together, and we're going to sit up real tall. And let's use our hands to pull ourselves straight. So we're grabbing hold of the feet or the ankles and pulling really straight as the knees drop open. So let's take a breath and get really straight through the spine. And then as you exhale, nice and easy, come forward just until you feel something happening. And then if you want to, you can drop your head and close your eyes. And we'll hold it here for a little while. So try to get comfortable and then try not to fidget. Just hold it here and breathe. And relax. Now, as you inhale, get a little bit straighter if you can through the spine. And then as you exhale, a little bit more into the stretch if you have it. And if not, just hold where you're at. A couple more breaths. Okay, so on an inhale, come on back up out of this. And we're going to have our feet straight out in front of us and about hip width apart. Sit up real tall. Let's take a breath. And then as we exhale, we're just going to walk our hands forward. This is a hamstring stretch. Notice your toes should be pointed up. You don't have to have them straight up, but don't let them rock out to the side. Okay, so once you're here, as far forward as you can go, you can again drop your head down, but continue to try to keep your back or your spine straight. And I like to think almost like I'm trying to push my lower back forward. as you inhale, try to go a little bit straighter into the spine, and then exhale a little further into the stretch if possible, and hold it. Great job. Let's take a deep breath. Exhale nice and slow. And then as we inhale again, let's walk back up. Good. Okay, we're going to cross our ankle onto the thigh and then bend the knee. So this is stretching the hip, and we're going to do a stretch through the chest. So hands behind the back, and let's take our fingertips so that they face away, and then we're going to open our chest as if we're trying to push up towards the ceiling with our chest. So open the chest up, and then we can kind of rock back and forth a little bit until we feel a stretch through the hip. And if you need to readjust and kind of come forward a little bit, do it. So that you feel a little bit of a stretch through the hip, a little bit of a stretch through the chest. It doesn't have to be really intense, and it shouldn't be. And just hold it here and keep breathing. And again, any of these, if you want to close your eyes, go for it. Focus on your breathing. So deep breath, really, really big breath. And then nice and slow as you exhale. All the way out. Let's take one more really big breath. And exhale. Good. And then let's drop the leg. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side with the leg. So get that set up. And this time, with the hands, we're going to point the fingers forward. That's a little bit more of a stretch. So if it's too intense, you can bring it back. And again, opening up. And you can rock the leg side to side a little bit. If you feel a point in the hip where you need a little extra stretch, then you can hold it there. Open the chest really wide. Good stretch. Okay, take a deep breath. Exhale all the way out. Let's do one more just like that. Deep breath in. Exhale. Good. Release. Nice job. Okay, we're going to come down into child's pose. So just roll over onto the knees. Big toes are together, knees are apart, feet are flat. So we're going to drop down, head or forehead is on the yoga mat. And let's take both of our arms and we're going to walk them so the pinky finger should be at the edge of the mat. We're going to walk our hands forward and rotate the elbows out to the sides like they're pointing to the walls. And then just a little bit of a pressure down through the yoga mat with our hands. So it feels like we're widening out or flattening our shoulder blades. And hold it here. And keep breathing. Now, let's walk our hands over to one side. So we're going to just do a nice side stretch. And hold it. And keep those elbows pointed out to the sides. And then let's take it all the way over to the other side. Stretch the opposite side. And you should feel this all along the side of your body. Okay, we're going to take it back to center. And relax your elbows down for a breath or two. So we're just relaxed in child's pose right now. Okay, so we're going to thread the needle. So one arm goes underneath the opposite arm, and we're looking through that hole we created too. Okay, let's take it to the other side. Same thing, thread the needle, look through that hole. Alright, good. Let's bring both arms back to center. And then one more time, let the elbows drop and just relax, just for a few breaths. Child's pose is one of the poses that you can always come back to if you need a break. It's very passive, a really wonderful pose if you just need a little mini break. Okay, we're going to come up onto our knees. Good job. And we're going to go into a lunge, and I'm going to fold my yoga mat for a little extra padding on my knee. So you might need to do that too. Okay, so we're going to get into a lunge position, and nice and deep if possible. So notice that I take my back leg and I'm going to shift it so that I'm not right on top of my kneecap. And then let's put our hand, we're going to start in lizard. We're putting our hands inside the leg and then allowing this hip to open up, or the knee, excuse me, open up. We'll hang out here. So you'll feel this in different areas of your body. You might feel it in your inner thigh, you might feel it in the hip flexor of the back leg. Anywhere is fine as long as it feels okay. Okay, so hold it here, just relax. Notice if you're holding any tension in your shoulders, so nice relaxed shoulders. And if you want to, you can even, sometimes I like to rock a little bit to feel a little bit more of a stretch if I need an area, maybe in the hip flexor back there, that I need a little extra stretch. I might find it. Okay, very good. All right, so we're going to take the same arm, but the leg is forward. We're going to kind of shift that opposite arm so that we feel steady. So it's right underneath our shoulder. And we're going to take the arm and we're going to reach up. And so we're twisting and reaching up. Now you can look at your hand, you can look at the ceiling, or if you need to, you can just look forward, like to the side wall, whatever works for you. Take a breath. And exhale, and then one more breath. And as you exhale, come back to where you came from. You did a good job. That's a tough one. And now we're going to take our foot and we're going to walk it to the opposite side of the yoga mat and drop down into the pigeon. Okay, so you want to try to get your hips square on this so that you're not rocked open. So try to get your hips square, and you can adjust your foot as needed. That will help. And then once you're there, go ahead and come on down onto your elbows if you can, or if you need to, you can stay here like this. Now, I'm not super flexible, so there's a lot of space here, and that's okay if you're like that too. You might be able to drop down a little further into it. We're going to hang out here for a little while, so once you find where you're comfortable, try not to fidget. We're just going to hold it here and breathe, and you can let your head drop down. Very good. All right, let's come up not quite finished here. We're going to do a little bit of a quad stretch. So let's take the same hand that's the leg is in front. We're going to bring it in the center. We're going to twist slightly so we can reach back and grab the foot. Now, again, this is a little bit challenging sometimes, so just do your best. Let's hold it here and just hang out here for a few breaths. Okay, let's take one deep breath. Exhale. And then again. And then as you exhale, nice and easy, drop that foot back down. You did a great job. And we're just going to roll onto our hip to get out of that. Isn't that easy? Okay, so we're going to switch to the other side. So the opposite foot is in front, and starting with the lunge. So I'm here in the lunge, and then I'm just going to come forward with that foot, and so I feel like I can go really deep in the lunge. And that, remember, that knee can drop open, and you actually want it to, so that you feel like you have plenty of room here for your arms and shoulders. Let's hang out here for a little bit. And like I said before, sometimes I like to rock back and forth a little, just to see if there's any spot that needs a little bit extra attention. If there is, I might hang out there for a few breaths. Okay, so we're going to go into that twist like we did on the other side. So the opposite hand is going to come so that's closer to the center of the yoga mat. And then the hand that's the same leg is forward. We're going to reach up. So we're twisting through the spine and reaching up. And you can look at the ceiling, you can look at your hand, or you can look to the wall. And each side is different. So, you know, if it's a little bit awkward on one side versus the other, that's okay. That's why we're doing this. Keep breathing. This is really easy to hold your breath on this one. Let's take a breath. Exhale. Let's do that one more time. Deep breath in. And then as you exhale, bring it back down to where you came from. Very good job. Okay, so we're going to shift up so that we can walk our foot over and go into pigeon. And then once you're here, make sure your hips are where they should be, and you can drop down, get comfortable. So pigeon is one we're going to hang out here for a little while. And then as we inhale again, let's come up onto the hands. And we're going to do the slight twist to reach back and grab the foot for that quad stretch. Now, this is another one where it's really easy to hold your breath, so make sure you're taking, and you're able to take a deep breath. So let's do that. Let's take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, just nice and slow and relaxed. Hold it here just for another breath or two. Close your eyes. Okay, let's do one breath together. So inhale. And then as you exhale, nice and easy, release the foot and bring it down. Okay, did really good on that. So we're going to roll open just like we did before. And we're finished, almost. Go ahead and lay down on your back. And this is the pose that everybody loves at the end. So we're gonna just have our legs outstretched, kind of shake them out a little bit. And then let's take our hands, our arms, and we're gonna turn our palms upward and kind of roll onto your shoulder blades so that they feel flat and it's really comfortable. And then we're gonna hang out here and just do some breathing. And this is a good time to practice slowing your breath. So as deep of a breath as you can get, and then really slow on the way out. And all the air comes out of the lungs. And you can hold it here and do this pose as long as you want to. So we'll do a few breaths together, but you stay here as long as you need. And let's do one big deep breath together before I go, but you stay as long as you need, like I said. So deep breath in. And all out. And thank you so much for doing yoga with me. And see you next time.